Hello. What? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for being first. Fancy. Okay. Well, let me make sure you guys can hear me. Yeah, I think you can. Very cool. All right. Um. Oh, it's just a handful of people. That's fine. I like an intimate crowd. All right. So I think there may be a new product for as ever. By the way, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Um, um, well, anyway, everybody's waiting for their chocolates. It looks like some people have gotten gifts from the as ever. Um, but the one gift that intrigues me, I will show you in just a minute. Look at there. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Isn't that beautiful? And then when you put all the candy bars together, you have that beautiful picture. I think I'm going to just glue mine together and then I'm going to frame them. Yeah, just for fun. I'm going to glue them together and then find a frame and frame them. Or maybe not a frame, just, put a board behind it or something and just work it out like that. Should be cool. Little piece of pop art. Maybe put some magnets on the back of it. Put it on the refrigerator, maybe. Something like that. Just a way to remember as ever. There it is. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? I love watching with Love Meghan on Netflix. So this is a treat. Um that basket. That basket. Is that possibly a future accessory? Maybe, maybe not. Just wondering, just wondering. Um, Maybe like some type of partnership or something. Now that is a very neat looking picnic basket. It also looks like something that you could strap on your back and I guess walk to wherever location you're going to set up your picnic. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, that would be really cool. I mean, the idea of things that they can sell is limitless. So I would look forward to something like that. I don't know if I would really want one, but it'd be cool just to see the reaction it gets. Yeah, it would be very cool. And plus, isn't Megan invested with that company that makes the wicker purses? I know she featured it at some point, but I do believe Megan is invested in that company. So that would be really cool if they did have something like that. Hey, Connie Bomber, legs. Yeah, I've never seen anything quite like it. I guess the shape of it. Actually, I'm trying to see if I can get some more information about it. But yeah, I don't think there is. Well, anyway, um, that would be something really cool for spring, right? We were discussing that. What could we expect in the future for as ever? And I think that would be really cool. Okay. Yeah, so Megan did feature this on her reels. Let's see. And from the note that I see there, it seems like someone was gifted that with the note, right? Cutest delivery from as ever official. You see what I mean? That's why I feel like this is something from Meghan. Like Meghan kitted up this basket, right? And then gifted it to someone. If that is true, and listen, I'm only saying if that is true, first of all, how much does it cost? And secondly, how many those would sell out in an instant. Seriously. The box of 4 chocolate bars, I think that sold out in 7 minutes. I am hearing 7 minutes. It was no, was it 7 minutes or 2 minutes? Something like that. It was gone. Gone, gone, gone. So what are the chances? What are the chances? I mean, would you guys buy something like that? I would. Even if I didn't use it, I still would want to have it. I mean, I guess the point of it is to use it, but it's just very cool and unique looking. That's all. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah. That's about all I can find for that. I'm trying to see if there's more information for it, and don't I don't see it. You know what? I'm gonna let me try one more thing. Love watching with Love Megan on Netflix. Um yeah. You know, the boxes came out before. Well, let me try to calm down because I'm getting excited. Remember the wooden crates for the wine came out. Well, actually, Megan gifted those first, and then they were available to us. So if Megan sent this, and this is the only one that I've seen, if Megan sent this out as a gift to someone, then chances are it will be available another time. And Carter Fish Nolan looks like she's a digital creator, a photographer. So, and this was a gift from Megan. Oh man, if I got something like that, if I was gifted something like that from as ever, I think my throat would close up. I wouldn't be able to talk. Okay, I'm gonna look at it one more time, and I'm trying to see if there's something that I'm missing. Cutest delivery from as ever official. Okay, got that. And then it just lists the oh, you know what? Um let me do this. See, I forgot I had this other one. You see how I did that? It was like one big picture and then I split it so we can zoom in and see what's going on. She used these on the show and I've been wanting them. Okay, she's talking about the flower sprinkle. See, oh, there it is right there. Thank you, as ever official, for sending this cute picnic basket. Uh, how did I miss that? Okay, you couldn't see it here. You can see it with this one though. Let's see, and a picnic rug. I've just the right destination in mind. Let's see here. Yes, I would like it because then you would use it for adventures. Yes, yes, yes. And then, hey, Shelly, isn't that the whole point of it is to use it? I love it. I love it. I just think it looks very unique. Usually a picnic basket is something kind of half the height of that. It looks like a picnic basket, but this kind of looks like a backpack, more like a backpack. I like things that have like a sense of utility. Okay, let's see here. Oh, all right. Okay, got that. Oh, well, you guys, we could only dream, right? We could only dream. Yes, isn't it? Don't you love it? I wish I had a better picture of it. I mean, well, there's just that one right there. Claudette McKenzie, I am well, thank you. I hope I can speak for everyone else saying that we're okay and well. Yeah, I'm glad they're keeping busy and minding their business and staying away from that weird family of Harry's. That other family is quiet for a change. Um, so yeah, I'm glad. That is really cool. I want to see the other side of it though. I wish there was a way to see the other side. It looks like there's a shoulder strap. Can you see that? Look on the left side behind the can of flour sprinkles, and you can see something that looks like a shoulder strap. It looks like it's got that pad that you put up on your shoulder. So, um, yeah. Okay. Let me go back to this one again. I want to read that note. I want to see if I can get a good look at that note. I mean, after all, it is there for no, it's too blurry. It looks kind of clear there though. Okay, let me try one more time. Well, why is it blurry here and not there? Well, it looks like this person, what is her name? Or whatever it is. She got the brute, she got some tea, got a chocolate bar, the raspberry spread, and the flour sprinkles. All of that in the basket. So the leather attachment looks like a backpack, unique, like you said. Yes, it is. So it is kind of like what do you call it? It's got that artisanal, bespoke, limited, one of a kind shape to it, like something you don't ever see. But I like all the hardware and everything on it. The leather buckle, belt and buckle thing there. Um, oh well. I want to see if I can find something like that online. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find something that looks a little similar to that, and I do not. That shape seems very unique. I mean, I see other like picnic things, picnic carriers, but none like that one. That one seems very unique. Oh, well, here's something that's close, but it's not a backpack. And it, well, it does have a shoulder strap. And the one that I'm looking at right here looks like it cost $152. Yeah, something like that ain't going to be cheap. Okay, I see another thing that's very similar to that. This one is nice too. Let me see how much this one costs. Oh man, I don't see a price here for it. Looks like you got to do a lot of scrolling to find a price. But anyway, it's also very similar. And this one looks like it's 20 inches by 8 and 5. Oh my goodness, what is that? 5 times. Oh, wait. Oh, I see. It's 20.5 inches by 13 by 8 inches. Holds a little over 9 pounds. It is similar to that one. Um, Pretty nice, but I don't see a price for it. You know, that is very, where did you get that from? You know what I mean? You have something like that, and it's like, where'd you get that from? Ah, okay. I see. Yeah, I see some other ones. I see some other ones. They don't look as nearly as nice as that one, though. Leave it to Megan to find something very unique like that. And you know, it may very well be a as ever design. But see, we have to take these things as a hint to the things to come. So it seems to me like our Duchess is already working on spring and summer. Wait. Spring and summer, not summer. Spring and summer 2026. It seems like Megan is already working on that. Why did I say summer? Spring and summer. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Summertime. uh okay. So for the record, it is summertime, not summer. Summertime and the living is easy. All right. Oh well. So there you go. Just remember you got this scoop from Royal Sussex. This is the first that you'll probably hear about this. So make sure you remember that in a month or two when it is formally introduced and available for sale on asever.com. Okay, now let's do a little gossip in here. So, Kate Middleton's twin, right hand woman who's at the center of the inner circle, the Kate, what is it? The Princess of Wales has a close inner circle of confidants. You know, they're only saying that because somebody heard me saying Kate ain't got no friends. With her closest aide by her side on an outing in Scotland, dressed in a complimentary outfit. They look like twins almost. This girl wore a blue tartan coat. Um, And if it wasn't, actually, I was going to say if it wasn't for her blonde hair, you would have thought it was Kate at a glance. But actually, Kate is doing the blonde highlights. So, yeah, anyway, so if you've been wondering who that is, she's not a lady in waiting. She's one of Kate's aides, one that has seems to have been there for a while. Um, and a lot of people were saying that I've never noticed her before. Well, how could you notice her? She was hidden behind Kate's hair. You see what I'm saying? With all of that hair, or what should I say, with Kate's wigs and wiglets. Kate is wearing wigs with wiglets. She's put extensions on her wigs. Her wigs are so voluminous and they even have little wiglets and snaps on and clip on hair extensions. And even her hair extensions have extensions. There is no limit. There's no limit to how many layers. You know how sometimes when people put a new roof on their house and the contractor says, um, you've already got 5 layers of roofing. We're not legally able to add another layer, so it's all going to have to come down. Well, I think about that every time I look at those wigs that Kate wears. There's only so many layers that you can put there before, it violates the building code. So, um, layer upon layer upon layer of hair. Paid help and handlers are not the same as friends. You got that right. Thank you for your comment. Right, Legs. I thought Sophie was her friend. Sophie, a safe pair of hands, right? If she's going to help Kate, who's going to help Sophie? Well, I probably am not, I shouldn't report this, but, here at Royal Sussex, we believe in the truth. And listen, I cannot hide it any longer. What was said to have been a natural phenomenon, it was actually Kate. The last time they had an eclipse, remember that time they had that eclipse and science didn't know that it was coming, and yet there it was? That was Kate. That was Kate. She was walking through the wilderness, taking one of her nature walks. And, well, she had her wigs and wiglets and cliplets and wiglets. And then she put some more hair on. You can see I'm in a silly mood. And then she put some more hair on top of that. And before you know it, most of what we call the UK was cast into darkness. There was nothing natural about that. That was Kate out for one of her nature walks. I tell you what, if they do take a trip to the US, she shouldn't walk around like that during mating season for the brown bear, because she might find herself in a spot of bother if she does that. Okay. Anyway, I'm being silly, just having some fun, you guys. So listen, Willie and Kitty were heckled, and I almost forgot about this, but it does beg the question: how long have they known about this? The person who asked that question, do they know something that we don't? Huh? Do they know something that we don't?
Epstein! How long have you known about Andrew and Epstein? Have you been covering up for Andrew?
Go away, Manny. Go away. That's enough. There's children here, right? Police officer, right? You carry on, you can be arrested for breach of the peace. Okay.
How long have you known about Andrew and Epstein? How long have you known about Andrew and Epstein? Have you been covering up for Andrew?
Hey, go away, man, eh? Go away. That's enough. There's children here, right? Police officer, right? You carry on, you can be arrested for breach of the peace. Okay. Steering the wheel.
Well, how long have they known? How long have they known? And remember, they hired a crisis manager. And I wonder if this is part of a much bigger story. Really, is this part of a much bigger story? Prince William hires crisis manager described as bulletproof sunshine by her old boss as Andrew and Harry's sagas rumble on. Well, okay, we can just eliminate the Harry part of that because Harry has nothing to do with this. Harry's story is something very different. In no way. The thing is, Harry is in California for what, 5 years now? Andrew is still there at the center of the storm. Andrew is still being financed. His lifestyle is still being financed by taxpayer dollars. And then there's that. That relationship, whatever it was that Kate Middleton had with Sir Richard Branson, who just happens to have been friends with guess who? Epstein. Maybe this is why there's a need for a crisis manager. Is this something else coming out? Because eventually it will come out. You see, some time ago, there was a girl from Huckleberry or Buckleberry or Mayberry, wherever she was from, whose family were dependent upon her to help them climb the social ladder, or at the very least, marry a rich man, like I don't know, Sir Richard Branson. So is it too difficult to believe that there seems to be a lot of connections between one household and the other? It's just interesting how so many people seem to run in the same circles. Now, and let's remember the yacht, the whole yacht thing. There were captains of industry, CEOs of some of the biggest companies like Volkswagen that would spend time on that yacht. There's a whole lot of summer jobs out there that you can find. You can sell pizza, ice cream. What else? There's amusement parks, all kinds of summer jobs. But very few people find summer jobs where they cater to the uber rich. Not many of us would find ourselves being pushed in that direction. But Kate did. And then there was the very awkward party, a late night party. They arrived together, they left together. And according to the tabloid, Sir Richard Branson, being the gentleman that he is, was trying to help the Middletons. And at this time, of course, he was way out of their league. I mean, after all, he was Sir Richard Branson. So in the middle of the night, the eldest daughter spent time with Sir Richard Branson to get some ideas about how to save or how to grow party pieces. I mean, a lot of people talk business late into the evening. There's no reason to believe that they were not having a business discussion. It just all seems so strange, though, doesn't it? Kate Middleton and Sir Richard Branson had a party in the middle of the night. They arrived together, they left together. See there? Kate Middleton shows Richard Branson she means business. That did not age very well, did it? Kate Middleton shows Richard Branson she means business as billionaire gives her advice. Who wrote that? Katie Nichols. Katie Nichols, someone who would go on to be very protective of Kate Middleton, wrote that article. Go figure. Now, here's the question, though. Does the article still exist? Well, here's part of it. Her parents may have built up a multi-million-pound company, but Kate Middleton has turned to Sir Richard Branson in a bid to sharpen her business acumen. Prince William's girlfriend has had a series of meetings with the billionaire, a series of meetings with the billionaire, who has helped unlock your iPhone first. Oh, I'm not talking to you, Siri. I said, never mind. Anyway, who has helped set up a partnership between his Virgin Empire and her parents' party pieces mail order business. Middleton's firm will now offer experience days, such as surfing lessons and trips to football grounds and recording studios in conjunction with Virgin. Is that all the activities that are available? Well, one thing's for sure. At least we know that Kate means business. Kate shows him that she means business. It just has not aged very well. Lord, have mercy. And then, of course, the Daily Mail. What did they say of this this curious connection with Sir Richard Branson? It says her parents have built. Oh, that was a Daily Mail article, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I already did that one. But yeah, so there you have it. There you have it. He's only there to help out party pieces, and she's only there to let him know what party pieces have to offer. And she's letting him know what party pieces have to offer. Let me see. Her parents may have built up a multi-billion-pound company. Well, let me see. This was posted to Twitter again. Who has helped set up a partnership? Okay. You know what? It is kind of weird. I cannot find the actual article any longer. What happened to the original article? Is it still there? Oh, there it is. There it is. Yes, the article is still up. A source said Kate is very close friends with Sir Richard Branson's daughter, Holly. Yeah, like hell she is. And has had several meetings with Richard. She's kept a regular, she's kept in regular contact and asked Sir Richard for his business advice. She respects him and thinks his guidance will assist her carving a new career for herself. Now, see, I would have believed that only we know how lazy Kate is and has no intention on ever doing a day's work in her life. She never has and she never will. He was only too happy to help her and has been instrumental in helping to set up the partnership with Party Pieces. In the past, Kate, 27, she's 27 years old, has been criticized as work shy for her lack of proper career. But sources say she now has an increased role at the Berkshire based family firm. When Kate graduated from St. Andrews University, she didn't really know what she wanted to do. A source went on to say she thinks the criticism of her being work shy is unfair, and she's really committed to her marketing role at her parents' firm. Well, I would say going to the party with Sir Richard Branson is some of the best marketing that one could ever do. As a matter of fact, she was even spotted wearing her mother's clothes. That hideous skirt that she's wearing with that very matronly jacket, that is no doubt a Carol Middleton outfit. It is very, very, mature for someone her age. But I digress. That's not important, nor is it germane to this story. But I'm just pointing out how hideous that outfit it looks. Um, I mean, it just looks like she fell through a charity shop. Oh, wait a minute. That was William's joke. Yeah, William used to say that Kate looks like she fell through, or is it tumbled through a charity shop? Woo! Lord have mercy. Oh well. Um, Listen, you guys, whatever you're thinking, it was just a business meeting. There's nothing more to it. I insist there's nothing more to it. They met to discuss business on several occasions. They had several meetings to establish exactly how Party Pieces was going to help save the Virgin Group, right? Just because Party Pieces is like this little small two-bed company and Virgin is this big multi-billion pound conglomerate doesn't mean that they could not rely upon Kate Middleton's expertise, her sharp wit, and her incredible intelligence to help salvage something from Virgin Industries. So, matter of fact, if it wasn't for Kate, would Sir Richard Branson even still be in business? He could be bankrupt without Kate's input. I'm being sarcastic, of course. But Katie Nichols wrote the article, and if Katie Nichols says that's what it is and that's what it means, and that's what it means. I mean, after all, it's Katie Nichols. Would she lie? Don't answer that. uh, would she lie? Of course not. We all know that the royal reporters only tell the truth. And of course, there's this Forging of a Princess, how generations of steely social climbing matriarchs shaped Kate Middleton's career character. Well, somebody had to do it. Yes, when the going gets tough, the tough takes a yacht, takes a job on a yacht. Now, here's the question: is that article still available? Anyway, it doesn't matter. You know, I made sure that I saved it. I have it saved somewhere. Her boss during the 3 months of her gap year before going to St. Andrews was former round world yachtsman Sir Clay. Is that no Sir Che Blythe? Okay, Sir Che Blythe. Let me see here. Well, you know, they keep trying to say that Meghan was the one who oh, sorry about that. This thing is very sensitive and I actually swiped myself out of here. Not to worry, I did that myself. It's it wasn't Kensington Palace that time, it was just me. Okay. There we go. Okay, and you can hear me okay? Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, um let me share just a little bit of that article with you. So the corporate clients loved her, especially the way she always seemed to be showing off her slender legs in tight blue shorts as she served gin and tonics and lunch. That's what she was serving. She was working as a deckhand on a 72-foot sailing boat in the Solent, looking after important clients from mighty companies such as Barclays, BT, Nokia, Toshiba, and Volkswagen. Yep, those were the people who could depend upon her. The year was 2001, and everyone referred to the tall, slim girl earning 40 pounds a day as beautiful Kate. That's what the article says. And of course, that was Jeffrey Levy for the Daily Mail and Richard Kay. So Richard Kay was one of the writers. And again, maybe this is why they needed to hire a crisis manager, just in case there was a misunderstanding, with the odd chance that something was very difficult to explain. Yeah, and listen, you guys, um, everything that we have discussed, the The palace was already aware of it. They knew that Kate liked to go out and have fun and go to clubs and party and stuff like that. It was understood that that she was not necessarily as virtuous as some other royal princesses. That was understood. That she had had a life before she married Willie. Um, and together they both went out on occasion. So none of this is a surprise. Um, After all, we're talking about beautiful Kate. Let's see. Hey, no, Naomi Maria. Richard K. is the whistleblower and leaked Kate working super yachts, serving rich men drinks. He also leaked William and the Rose affair, the alleged affair, of course. Yeah, well, that is true. And if I'm correct, wasn't it Richard K. who leaked that information about uh, William? Remember when William was saying those things about Africa and something about the pressure that the African population was putting on the environment and such? And then, of course, oh, no, 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 it wasn't that. It was when William said that you don't think of war in Europe, you think of places like Africa and Asia or something like that. And of course, Kensington Palace denied it, and then they made him walk it back. And I think it wasn't long after that that he was released from his contract with the newspaper. Is that the right timeline? Allegedly. Oh well. Anyway, they were big angry about that. Let's see. Fresh Prince Andrew humiliation spells trouble for Kate Middleton as Duke's shame to be displayed. Is that right? Do tell. Okay, I'll tell it. I'll tell it. And this is from the Scottish Express. They don't really like the royals. Launched amid much fanfare and even the first ever royal selfie pitched at palace descended into scandal involving claims of greed and alleged Chinese spy. Now, this is January 29th, 2026. I think, listen, to be fair, I think they only used that picture of Kate just to entice people to read the article. Hmm. But did they use that picture because that's a warning about things to come? Because it doesn't really seem like Kate really features in this article, but they just decided to put Andrew's and Kate's photo to tell the story about a Chinese spy. Isn't that interesting? As though there's something they want to tell us, but they're just not brave enough to do it just yet. Let's see. Just doesn't look like Kate Middlebaum. Well, thank you, Mary H. Now, I don't recall that, but I would not be surprised. It's just Let's see. It may just be a matter of time before there's going to be something very difficult to explain. Now, someone has said that the palace has known about these uh, most recent revelations. The palace has known about this. They knew that this day was coming, right? Which again, that is probably why there is a crisis manager at Kensington Palace. And I'll say again, it has nothing to do with the Sussexes. It has nothing to do with Harry in particular. Nothing. This is all Willie, Kitty, Andy, Sarah, um, Charlie, and Godzilla. This is all their business. The left behind royals. Let me see. Alib, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here, of course. So, as they say, they're out, but Andy is in. Again, this is something else that did not age very well. I mean, there you have the Metro speaking for the royal family. Which part of the family? We know not. But we do know that the leaking and the briefing with the tabloid media is one of the ways that the royal family can communicate about certain things without seeming as though they were the ones who said it. We know that they do that. Worst royal crisis in 85 years. Well, come on, say it with me. That didn't age very well. That did not age well at all. You know, at the time, they made it seem like, oh my goodness, the Sussexes, what have they done? And yet, it is actually Will and Kate's, Charles and Camilla's. It is those people, along with Andrew, of course, but they're the ones that seem to have a problem because the two houses of Windsor are not speaking to one another. And I don't mean the house of where's that place that Princess Anne lives? Um, oh God, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, it's not there. It's not Edward and Sophie. This is Charles and Camilla, William and Kate. They are not communicating. When Charles had that big event the other night about the environment, William should have been there. Kate should have been there. And what I didn't realize is that they didn't even say anything. There was no post about it on their social media. Nothing. They did not want in any way to acknowledge Charles's big night. They didn't show up. They didn't acknowledge it. It was just nothing about it. Now, if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what would. They are at war. Now, don't I don't really care about them, but I'm just a little nervous that Charles may try to use his relationship with Harry to go after William as a way to confront William, to make William feel uncomfortable. Because let's face it, William is going to be king. And whether or not you want to acknowledge it, um, William will be the head of the family. William has a lot of power now, and his power will be absolute when he's king, which means that there could be more years of leaking and briefing and troublemaking. I'd rather not. I'd rather not. I would rather the Sussexes are just left alone. Now, Harry has already proven with his book, and the Sussexes have already proven with the Oprah interview, that if they choose to speak out, they will, that they're not going to go away quietly. It's not good for either side to be at war with each other. Let Clarence House and Kensington Palace fight their battles and just leave the Sussexes out of it, is what I would prefer. So, Norway's crown princess's son, that is, detained again on eve of a 38 count criminal trial. What the hell? You know, if somebody told me, listen, don't work, just sit around and be rich. Just all you got to do is sit around and be rich. Order you some stuff from Amazon, order from As Ever, watch television, watch Netflix, right? If you get tired of Netflix, watch Max or Prime or something. Just stay out of trouble. Do you know how easy that would be for me? All you can eat, free food, free entertainment. I could show you how to be rich and quiet. But not this kid. Not this kid. He thinks that he is straight up hood. This kid thinks he's hood forever. You don't believe me? Let me show you. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I don't know why I get this feeling that he uses the N word. I don't know why. Now, if I'm wrong about that, forgive me. But I have a feeling that he calls people the N word. He calls himself the N word. I just got that feeling. He thinks he's hood forever. Look at Vanilla Nice, right? Vanilla, instead of Vanilla Ice, is Vanilla Nice. Underneath all of that bluster, he's probably a really nice kid who just doesn't know how to stop hurting people. I am being sarcastic, but yeah, he's done some, well, he's been accused of doing some very despicable things, which I don't get it. All you have to do is sit down and be rich. Go somewhere and buy clothes, fragrances, an expensive car. But nope. I'm surprised he hasn't done a bank job yet. I mean, when I saw that photo, I almost spit up my coffee. I'm like, who does he think he is? Look at the old school font that they used on the 1997. So he takes the wealth and privilege, the upbringing by that royal family, and squanders it. So Feminagra had a thing to say about it. Let's see what's going on here. So Marius Borg, is it Hoiby? The eldest son of Norway's crown princess Mette Marit, was arrested by the police Sunday evening, just hours before his criminal trial was due to open in Oslo District Court. Authorities said the newest arrest relates to suspicions of assault, threats with a knife, and violation of his restraining order. He violated a restraining order. The arrest of Hobie faces an indictment containing 38 counts. These included 4 alleged, I'll just say assaults, said to have occurred between 2018 and late 2024. Abuse in a close relationship involving a former partner. Alleged acts of violence against another partner. Threats. Traffic violations, and transporting approximately 3.5 kilograms of wacky tobacco. Wacky tobacco. Police requested 4 weeks of detention, citing risk of reoffending. And so during that, I guess that 4 weeks of retention or whatever, this fool goes out and get in trouble again. Hobie, who is in his late 20s, has been under police scrutiny since multiple arrests in 2024 connected to allegations of violence and possession of things, if you know what I mean. He was indicted in August of 2025, but had remained free pending a trial until the latest detention. His defense team has stated that he denies all charges. Of course he did. I would have denied it too. Let me see. Especially the charges of, abuse and most of the violence related allegations. So, yes, he's in total, complete denial. He has not done a thing. The world has gotten it wrong. He's not a bad kid. He's just misunderstood. And if you, if you don't believe him, well, he has ways of making you reason with him. Yeah. Now that's interesting. I had covered up that that one thing in the picture, and it is still covered on my slides that I made, but here there is no cover. Oh well, you can barely make out what it is. It looks like a cell phone. It looks like a cell phone. Anyway, no worries. Oh well, his poor mother. His poor mother. Let me see. He is son of the Crown Princess Meti Merit for the previous from a previous relationship, and the stepson of Crown Prince Haakon. Hobie holds no royal title. Oh, let me make this bigger. No wonder I can't see it. Holds no royal title and carries no official duties within the Norwegian royal household. Crown Prince Haakon said he and the Crown Princess do not plan to attend the trial and that the royal house will not comment during the proceedings. He also emphasized that Hobie is not part of the royal institution and is subject to the same legal rights and responsibilities as any other Norwegian citizen. The trial is open at the same time renewed scrutiny has fallen on the Crown Princess Meti Marit. Past contacts with, guess who? Jeffrey Epstein. Recently released files contained emails exchanges and confirms she borrowed a property linked to Epstein in 2013. Her name reportedly appears more than 1,000 times across the documents. 1,000 times her name was mentioned across the documents. You know, I know that rich people have a really big life, right? But even some of the richest people, someone as casual acquaintance, I don't know that their name would appear 1,000 times, in 1,000 years. So, what could that have been about? 1,000 times? She also expressed sympathy for Epstein's victims. The Norwegian royal household has said her past association is unrelated to her son's criminal case. Well, what else would you say at this point? Mm-mm-mm. That is very unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. I don't know how so many people have been a part of that man's world. It almost seems like they all needed his approval before they could do anything. Now, I know that's a gross exaggeration, but it just seems like he was overrepresented in the lives of people that really shouldn't have known him in the first place. You have very wealthy Americans, wealthy Europeans, and especially members of royal households that have been in constant contact. Now, someone explained it in a different way that I believe that they said he was like a financial counselor, not counselor, but something to do with holdings and investments and all that kind of stuff. We still don't even know how Jeffrey Epstein got rich in the first place. Where did his money come from? They say one day he was a math teacher, and the next day he's a billionaire. Okay. Was a friend of that man. Uh huh. I just. Uh, but why him? And it's not even to say that she did anything wrong. And then also the use of his properties, staying at his house. What did he have to offer that in some cases people have brought their children to his home? Sarah Ferguson? Oh, same thing. And then, of course, I don't want to identify that lady who has a um, platform, but that lady who runs, well, it says it there anyway, is in mourning. Two of her favorite royals are all over those files. So many times she spent her money flying from the US just to see the Scandinavian royals. Now watch her still pass her abuse and racism to the Duchess of Sussex for criticism. Thing is, if she needs to go after someone, Why don't she talk about these people? Now, she has been using those two ladies, among others, of course, as examples of what a royal princess should be, right? Putting them up on a pedestal while simultaneously tearing down Meghan. But look at where they are now. Look at where they are now. I wonder if those are still her baby teeth. Do you think her other teeth ever came in? Or do you think those are the baby teeth? Yeah, there's something odd about her mouth. It just doesn't make sense. Oh, let's get it on. Yeah, baby. Let's get it on. Look at there. Look at those childbearing hips hidden behind that hedge. Yes, he's hot stuff, ain't he? That's old Charlie Windsor out there in the sun, looking all ripped and buffed. Got on just enough makeup and no cherry lip gloss. Do you think that someone has mentioned that to Clarence House? That there's a content creator accusing Charles of wearing cherry lip gloss? Maybe. I plead guilty. Well, it's not as though you can even understand what Charles is doing because people are too busy paying attention to William and Kate and not enough attention to him. And William and Kate made it even worse by not even going to his uh, movie premiere or documentary premiere, whatever the hell it was. They just chose not to go. They didn't want to participate. They snubbed him. And the thing is, the tabloids, they wouldn't even say it, but I'll say it. He was snubbed by his son and daughter in law. That was a snub. But instead, the tabloids just pretend like it didn't happen. You know, this is one of those occasions where Amanda Platel should have verbally chastised the Wellses. She should have verbally chastised them for not supporting Charles, but instead, silence. You better say it. He loves himself and cares about no one except his horse he's married to. Uh, I do apologize for how disturbing this illustration is, but there you have it. The the image of justice knocked to the floor. Now that is interesting. I don't know who the illustrator is, but they have definitely captured the spirit of the moment. And poor Sarah Ferguson, why did LBC do this to her? Why did LBC go there? I have not altered that image. That is what they posted. Now, whether you like Sarah Ferguson or not, there was no cause to do this. That is very hateful. And they should not have done that. Have some respect for her. Yes, she's made some very poor decisions and choices, but to cast her image into a shadow, I think it's just going too far. I have a brother-in-law that looks like Charles and have two wives. My sister and another friend. Charles looks exactly like him. Childbearing hips and all. Oh, I feel sorry for. Look at why did they use this photo? This is so cruel. Oh well, that was LBC's doing. Now, Sarah Ferguson told Epstein no woman has ever left royal family with her head. Now, that sounds troubling that no woman has ever left that family and managed to keep their head. I'm sure she means that figuratively. But whatever the case is, Sarah Ferguson has made some very poor choices. She has been foolish, and thus she has been paid out for her folly. And that is the unvarnished truth. She has made some very, very poor choices. Um, I don't know why I get this feeling that somehow they thought that Sarah Ferguson would help to, I suppose, calm down her husband, ex-husband, that she would be a force for good in his life. But it turns out they were two of a kind to some degree. Two of a kind, a couple of grifters. And the bad thing is, it seems that at least one of their daughters have been pulled into the whole thing, which is also very sad. But I just want to say, for the record, it was not Harry and Meghan that made Queen Elizabeth's final days an absolute misery. It was the rest of that family. It was that lazy, good for nothing Willie, that lazy, good for nothing Kate, Charles with all his high minded ideas and bags of money, uh, Camilla, totally unfit for the role. Let me see who else. And Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, embarrassing the family. But according to the tabloid media, Harry and Meghan fighting for their survival caused so much grief and heartache to Queen Elizabeth that that's finally what done her in. It wasn't her advanced age. It wasn't a horrible disease. It was Harry and Meghan fighting for their freedom. It wasn't the 12 million pounds that were paid to a woman that her son didn't know for something he didn't do. Right? It wasn't Philip moving to Wood Farm to be with whoever he was with. None of those things did her in. It was Harry and Meghan. In the end, them fighting for their happiness, escaping that family, is what caused her grief. Was it Harry and Meghan who brought COVID over to Windsor Castle? No. They said it was an outbreak, but you and I both know that she had just had lunch with her son a day or two before she took ill. Now, they made it through the whole pandemic without incident, but then she took ill after a visit with her son. But we all know Harry and Meghan took a red eye made their way to Windsor Castle, somehow scaled the wall, had lunch with the Queen, and then she took ill. And there's no record of it. It wasn't Charles, it was just an outbreak. So, with that, you guys, guess what? I am done. I am done. I want to take a look at your comments and then I'll say good night. Or morning. Wait, okay, you guys can hear me. Sorry about that. All right, that's better. So, if you just joined us, please tell me, what do you think about the possibility of Meghan's new merchandise, this picnic basket? If you just joined us, we talked about that earlier. I think it is so cool. Look at that. We suspect that it has shoulder straps, or at least one shoulder strap. You can see on the side where you kind of clip the hardware in there. It appears to have something like a canvas top, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, this was gifted to whatever her name is, with those things inside of it. So maybe, just maybe in the future, this will be one of the products available from As Ever. Good night, Claudette. I know. I love it. Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. Let's see. Before I sign off, I'd like, it's very practical. Good on Meghan. Yes. I hope they do sell those. Elizabeth's poor choices, prejudice, and refusal to move into the modern era did her in. I suspect that is true. Let's see. The chickens have come home to roost for the diabolical family. Yes. You know, it just you have a tabloid industry, right? You have these tabloids. They have done and said everything short of, the worst. And they almost did that in New York that day. They have done so much to Harry and Meghan, so much to them. And yet, unless something big happens, you almost forget Andrew is alive. You almost forget about him. Bags of money, cash for honors, William's rage, Kate appearing with her hands bandaged all those occasions. I mean, take your choice. Take your choice. And let's talk about Zara. Zara has a new campaign for jewelry now. Zara is getting paid. Do you hear me? Zara. They say Zara and what's that man's name? Mike Tyndall. That they are in great demand. They are in demand when it comes to these sponsorships. People want to hire them because of their proximity to the royal family. They are cashing in big time, right? They are not working royals. They don't even have titles. And they are cashing in. Zara has had several campaigns that I'm aware of. The Queen's granddaughter, that is, showing up at the weddings and the funerals, showing up at jubilees, and making money because of her what? Royal connections. Because of her royal connections. Really? Okay. I didn't know that. It's the hypocrisy that is just so disappointing. All of the accusations about the Sussexes and their earning potential, and yet they give a free pass to the rest of the family, Charles included. I tell you, there's one place that, or should I say, one company that Royal Connections was unable to salvage. Is called Party Pieces. There was nothing that the royal family connection was able to do to help Party Pieces. Party Pieces has gone to pieces because, well, of his poor management, I suspect. Some say it was upheld by um, Uncle, what's his name? I know. I know. They're not supposed to do that, but I guess it's okay if you're anybody but Harry and Meghan, I suppose. Yeah, Party Pieces has gone. Yeah, Uncle Gary, thank you. Party Pieces has gone to pieces. I would be lying if I say I wasn't enjoying this just a little bit. And for the record, this may actually be my best day since Christmas. Oh well. I'm just gonna gloat for a little bit. As a matter of fact, how about if I gloat for a couple of days and then, I'll be a little bit more serious. But for now, oh, for now. Nothing to do but hire a crisis manager. Yeah, well, at least we know why there was a crisis manager brought on. And not just a crisis manager, but the crisis manager. I like the Tyndalls, in a casual kind of way. Um, and what I like about them is that they seem to have a very solid relationship, right? And yes, I know that maybe one of them have a wandering eye, but essentially they get on well with each other, and that's refreshing. And you know, I'm not in love with them or anything, but I like that they have each other. You know what I'm saying? I like that they have each other. They seem to have each other's back, which is not really common in that family. But they're okay. They're okay. Um, they could be worse. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, that's right. Party Pieces was sold for pennies on the dollar. They found someone who purchased the rights to it or whatever. Well, what do they do for money? Hey, remember when Party Pieces was trying to expand into the U.S. market? As if we don't have what is that party store and the Dollar Tree. It was kind of like we didn't need Party Pieces. We already had stuff. Oh well. Thanks everyone. I'm gonna say goodnight. Love you guys. Remember, it is Black History Month here in the United States. Um, yes, it is Black History Month. And so this time of year is a great time to reflect on all of the contributions that African Americans have made in these United States. I tell you, there's a who's who of Black inventors out there. I was listening to this right wing egomaniac who is basically a supremacist, and let him tell it. There was practically no civilization in Africa um, before the Europeans arrived, right? Even though there is tons of evidence that Africans had actually traveled as far as China and Japan long before, you know, the slave trade and such. But yeah, that I love that kid Speed, I Show Speed or whatever his name is, that went over there, and what he did was expose the world to a very modern Africa. Um, but the African nations, especially those coastal nations, they had been trading with Asia for, you know, I don't know how many years, but centuries they had been trading with Asia. And unfortunately, we have an administration in the White House that is trying to hide the contributions of African Americans, which is why it is so important that that we use this month to share the stories. And if you have social media, then chances are you have a way that you can post on your various social media sites, biographies or interesting stories or whatever. Post those things. You know, the same way I share stuff. I'm hoping that you guys do that too. I do that on some of my other social media as well. So, very important, especially at this time when we have an administration that is literally trying to erase history. Oh, is Party City out of business too? I did not know that. Wow. You know what really makes me mad though? Joanne's Fabrics, the way that they took over that company and dissolved it. And oh, why did they let them do stuff like that? The company was not in financial trouble. They were expanding, they were building new stores. And then some of those, what do you call those people that come in and take over the company and sell it off and all that kind of stuff? That is like one of the worst things that is allowed to happen in this country. Some very um, old businesses, established companies have been ruined like that. It's like you take a perfectly good company, a financially strong company, and then you bankrupt it, and then you shut it down. They were trying to close Red Lobster. I mean, say what you will about Red Lobster. Yes, they have declined over the years and such, but I'm here to tell you, Red Lobster, for a lot of people, a lot of working class people, um, your first, like, uh, or should I say, your foray into fine dining was at Red Lobster. Yes, it's, a little blue collar working class place, but remember back in the day when they used to actually have placemats on the table, and it was not exactly upscale, but it was on its way. And then of course over the years they changed a bit. The food may not have been sourced in the way that it was before, but that was a really good restaurant. And they were trying to shut it down. One of the things they do, okay, let's say you're Red Lobster, right? And you got property all over the country. They will sell the property while the restaurant still occupies the space. And then they will lease the property from the new holding company that owns the property, the real estate company. The thing is, they own that real estate company, not the people that are running the Red Lobster, but well, you know what I mean. That's like a completely different company that they have financial interests in. So they use Red Lobster's property to fatten up their books and to make their company seem more financially stable, while simultaneously bankrupting Red Lobster, because now they are no longer landowners; they're renting, and the rent, they jack up the price of the rent so high that it actually puts them out of business. That's a model that they've done so many times. And what happened? People lose their jobs. A lot of people close to their retirement, you know, pension gone and all that kind of stuff. It's just crazy. I know I'm not explaining it so well, but that's pretty much the way it works. As you take something that's not broken and you break it. And that should not be allowed. But, the people that do it are the ones that make those big donations to the campaigns. Yes, I love Red Lobster. And people try to make it seem like, oh, you're just so tacky. Red Lobster, Red Lobster. Ain't nothing wrong with Red Lobster. It's good food. We went there for my aunt's birthday a couple of years ago, and I tell you, when they brought the food out, you couldn't hear a sound. All you could hear was spoons and forks scraping and sipping and slurping. I'm not ashamed to say I love Red Lobster. Yeah, Joyce Anderson, I saw that. I saw that. They did not want any black people around. They spelled it out with the N word. They did not want anybody black around. But still, um, we have to acknowledge the suffering of those victims. It was so um, painful to think about is that they would try to find people, try to find victims from families that are already less than ideal, and they would prey on their miserable upbringing. They may have been victimized at home, and then it's just too awful to think about. So I'll leave it there. But um, that should not have happened to anyone, and especially um, people that lord their wealth over the majority of us. They do these things, and for the most part, they get away with it. They get away with it. What would have you and I locked up and the jail thrown on top of us, they lawyer up and walk away. It's very unfair. Okay. Let me see. You're explaining it well. Unfortunately, I used to work in an investments, and is a dirty business that they purchase intangible assets like the name, etc., just to destroy the competition. Mm. Remember, what was it? Exxon? No, no, no. What was that company? The power company. Oh no, it wasn't Exxon. It was the one that Dick Cheney and all those people. It was a power company in Texas. Well, I forget what it was, but they purchased it and then drove it into the ground, and they sold it as something that was going to benefit the customers, right? It did not benefit the customers. It actually cost the customers so much more. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Enron, thank you. That Enron debacle. Yes, Enron. I knew it started with an E. Enron was a great company until it wasn't. Yeah, they were doing just fine until it wasn't. Yep, they have used this model over and over again. You know, those of us who have investments, and if you're lucky enough to have a 401k or whatever, um, these are the things that they do to fatten up those portfolios. And if you're lucky, you won't be affected by it, you know. Well, that's one of the things they do. They make this excuse that they have an obligation to their stockholders. We have an obligation to our stockholders. As a matter of fact, when they sell those companies, they say we have an obligation to our stockholders. We have an obligation to our investors. And what happens? Well, yeah, the economy gets bigger, but more people are out of work. They put people out of work. Yeah, the stock market gets bigger, but they put people out of work. And then when they get tired from that, they'll start a war. And then, of course, a lot of those people in Congress, well, they have money invested in the military industrial complex. Wow. Okay, that's a good one. If the Middletons had sought Meghan's advice, Party pieces, it would probably have survived. Nope, not going to take. Yes, and our Duchess is going to have the last laugh, I can assure you. I don't care what it costs me. I am going to, when those wicker baskets come out, those backpacks, wicker basket things come out, I just have to have one. And I will. I don't care if I just picnic in the living room. I am going to strap on that basket and I'm going to hike through the house and I'm going to go and sit in the living room and have a picnic. Okay. Good night for real this time. Cheers. See y'all later.